Definitely a little bit tired going into my session today. I actually didn't get a whole lot done, and reason for it very simple. I didn't get much of any sleep last evening. Um, Kind of unusual for me. I Sleep in recovery, especially for a writer, is probably of the utmost importance. Um, unless you're doing something very specific where you're kind of playing with sleep patterns like I did last year, to kind of see if maybe that kind of helps out with creativity and all that stuff. That's cool, but in general, if you are simply just not getting enough sleep, what have you, that's a problem, and that's a to be frank, I think that's a very, very big problem because as a writer, all you have really is your mind, your brain, and if you're operating with a foggy head, half capacity, not at your best, well, it's gonna bleed over into your work, which is kind of why today's session was not particularly long, but I was able to make a few corrections here and there. I suppose there's a good news though, and I guess this is a bit of a tease, but the actual reason why I didn't get much sleep last night was not just some sense of like insomnia or something like that. No, so I had, I suppose, a burst of inspiration. An idea came to me for this channel to maybe switch up the format of how I do this, of kind of how I present this to everyone. And last night, basically, I spent all night tinkering with this idea. I say all the time, when the inspiration strikes, when these big things come to you, these ideas that are challenging, different, what have you, when these ideas come to you, this inspiration strikes, you got to go with it. I have over the years done many things to accommodate inspiration. I've had ideas for books, like literally openings for books that I have, or stories or ideas that have been so strong that I have called out sick from work just to spend the day writing. I have, kind of like last night, I've spent nights basically awake with no sleep because this idea, this awesome concept idea, I had to flesh it out, I had to write it out, I had to get something down the page here, I had to capture the moment. The biggest mistake I think people can make is sleeping on things, or waiting. If you have inspiration and it's a big, big, big thing, do whatever you can, if at all possible, to go after it, to capture it, to sort of harness it. In my case, inspiration struck last night, and I decided to go after it. And I think what's going to be coming down the pike is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be kind of a cool new way of looking at the channel. It's going to be the same thing in general. Like, it's going to be the same idea, like the same things I'm doing now. It's still a vlog. But it's going to look a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit funner, a little bit different, and I'm very, very excited for it. I guess since I teased that now, I'll be rolling it out. I don't know when. But it will be soon, within like the next couple weeks. So it could be as early as this weekend. Could be next week. It could be beginning of May. I don't know exactly what the date is yet, but we are going to roll this out relatively soon. That's, again, you cannot sleep on these certain things. A lot of people will think that sleep is their best friend. They'll get an idea and they'll go, all right, it's awesome. They're really motivated, fired up to do this thing, and their head hits the pillow, goes to sleep, and wake up in the morning, and you go, I wasn't really that into it. And they'll tell themselves something to the effect of, well, if I wake up in the morning and I'm not as into it as I was the night before, during that moment, well, I guess it was just shiny new idea syndrome. I guess the idea didn't really have any sticking power. It's a good thing. The sleep was kind of like a good editor for me, right? Completely disagree. I think you have to take immediate action. I think the immediate action needs to be taken on certain ideas that feel very powerful. These are not like, how do I say? These are not like story ideas. These are not like where you have to kind of think out and think through certain projects as far as stories go. But I'm talking about like the ideas, these inspirational moments, these things that you can visually see that you think will change the project, that will change the direction you go, a new idea for your project. And even in life, like if you have an idea of something you want to do, like beyond the keyboard, beyond just the creative, like I want to go to this place, right? Like this year I want to travel to this place, whatever. The moment it becomes solidified, you have that inspiration, you can see it, you got to do something. I don't care if it's like book the first, like take out your calendar and book it off on your calendar, like just cross on your calendar when you're going to be going, or book the hotel, or look at the flight, or get the flights ready. You've got to take some step basically in the beginning to get this ball rolling right away. The longer you think about it, the more it has a chance of not happening. And so for me, that's what last night was. It was nice inspiration. It'll change just kind of the layout and the look of this channel more than anything else, especially when it comes to the Write Everyday vlog. That's it. But I think it's going to be exciting. I'm really excited for it. I think people will get a kick out of it. So a little bit of a tease there, but yeah, I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to take it nice and easy today, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll get a good long session in.